Mellophonium. A mellophonium is an instrument that was built by Kohn around the end of the 60s, mid of the 70s. I don't make your research. I don't think it was built for more than 10 years. I don't know. I will make my own research. I will do my own research. Mellophonium. Okay. English. The mellophonium is a brass instrument, typically pitched in key F. Yes, it's tuned in F. Through the models E, flat, D, and C and G as a bugle. Also historically exists. That's mellophone. Sorry. Mellophonium. Sorry. C.G. Kohn developed in the is 16E mellophonium and first marked in 1957, essentially a classical concert mellophone that is figuratively been partially wrapped to form a bell forward instrument. American band leader Stan Kenton himself was not involved in the design of mellophone. In 1961, however, he provided an endorsement for Kohn's advertising upon adopting the instrument. Kenton has for several years wished to add another brass voice alongside the trumpets and trombones in his orchestra to experiment unsuccessfully with additional instruments before discovering the Kohn mellophonium, which bridged the gap he was seeking to fill. In 1962, Kenton explained, "For some time I recognized the need for using an instrument that would not only give the orchestra another sole voice, but would add more warmth and emphasis to the thematic line. The mellophonium has not only met all the preliminary requirements, but also suggested intriguing ways to shade and dramatize sound. My decision to use the mellophoniums didn't just happen overnight, nor are they gimmick instruments. Both the arranging staff and myself realized the need for an instrument that would capture the width of sound visually untouched between the trumpet and trombones. First tried 10 trumpets at 5 E flat and 5 E flat, B flat, A flat. They didn't make it because it was impossible to distinguish any difference between the two instruments. So that means that this instrument has another tone, obviously. It isn't a bright instrument. It's very long and narrow. It has a narrow bore and a wide bell. They didn't make me. After experimenting for 2 days with the flugelhorn, we were ready to give up completely. Yeah, flugelhorn is tuned like a trumpet. Finally, the Kohn Instrument Corporation learned that we were interested in locating a new brass instrument, asked to us. Very much explanation, preliminary rehearsal, the mellophonium became an answer we had been looking for. I think of alto horn E flat, some people call tenor horn, would do the trick and would be more in tune, but that's me. What I think. An instrument could be played by a trumpet, rail by both when playing most mellophonium players in Kenton's band were electronic users of the instrument because they difficult to play in tune, particularly the higher register. Okay, even when I play the C, the F, tend to be high, tend to be sharp. The instrument could be played. Several trumpeters quit in protest rather than switched full-time to mellophonium. Only a few band members prefer the new instrument. Can't use a 4-man mellophonium section. Okay, that's what Wikipedia says. I played this with a cornet mouthpiece. Has its own mouthpiece, but I don't have it. But it accepts without any problem cornet mouthpiece. I can use a French horn mouthpiece with hamduck tape because the input, so to speak, is a little bit wider. I'm not a full-time horn player. Actually, I fiddle with it, but obviously, but I like the tone. In spite of the fact I make mistakes, the tone also with this is more like a French horn. With a trigger here or a fourth valve, this instrument could be much more usable and in tune. I know the fourth valve make it, yes, just a trigger, put a trigger here, like with a fluid horn. You can make this long here and use a ring to tune it. I don't know, it's too long. But anyway, a trigger will do the trick. Because actually it has its own sound. With this mouthpiece is just a French horn in F, one octave higher than the regular F French horn, but there's this dark sound with this mouthpiece, but not so dark as a French horn. I repeat, if someone can get this and have it modified by someone who knows how to, and put a trigger and have it cleaned, whatever, it's a very peculiar sound. It's kind of a crossover between a French horn and an alto horn. But with, what is the difference other than the shape between this and a mellophone? This is more tapered because here it gets cornet mouthpiece and not alto. This is sorry. This is alto mouthpiece. You see the bore, and here is the cornet, and that makes a whole difference in sound. Okay, if you play the French horn, you can use a French horn mouthpiece, but the sound is really, really like a French horn. Other thing, you cannot adjust the intonation putting your hand inside unless you're an orango or a gorilla, and no, you cannot. So, and I guess you're not neither of the two, or a chimpanzee. No, you should be like very, very tall, you know. But even, you know, yes, if you're very, very tall, you can use something like. Okay, I'm not good. But okay, I got it for little money, and it was, you know, I bought it out of a whim, out of a whim. So here you have many people, you know, not exactly the difference, other than the shape. The here is short, is smaller, narrower than a mellophone board here, input. So that makes the instrument have kind of more, even with a cornet player, more or I don't have a French horn. I have a alto trombone. I have a French horn, but I don't have an alto horn. This is a very bright sound, okay, and this is it's easier to get high notes than on an alto horn, given the smaller mouthpiece for the tuning of the instrument. It looks like a heraldic, like those trumpets for the kings and the royals. So here you have it. Let's have a. It doesn't say when it was actually produced. There is another better link. Obviously, the sound comes from English mellophonium, phony, which in ancient Greek means sound, modern Greek means voice. You can find this only second hand. Okay? But if you have enough money and you have someone put a trigger on it, you know that you should add something here, and this you should modify in order that it slides better. The problem is that the partials, you should a whole instrument trigger, not only valve, like on a tubas, a trigger that affects the main tuning slide. Okay? If you can add this rather than this, maybe the tools, if you have more money. This is an instrument that is playable in every situation and has two identities, with the cornet mouthpiece and the French horn mouthpiece. So it could be very versatile. Okay? Don't mind the way I play. I'm not a good player, generally speaking, but I'm not. You can imagine on this instrument that this is not my main instrument. I don't have you listen the way I play the horn, French horn, which is. But playing the French horn some way helped me play even with a French horn. If you don't play a French horn, I don't recommend using a French horn mouthpiece. It will be hell. I don't have the original case, so you cannot find any case, in any case, a case for this. Having it made by someone would cost me then more than a whole instrument. Because I paid 250 euros, which is even, I don't know if I wasted my money on it, but I like it. I used to practice when I play my other beat up instrument, my French horn that I got for 150 euros is a B flat. Being a trumpet or trombone player, my main concern is not applying much pressure. Higher notes are much easier than a trumpet, but it's very easy to get the wrong partial, so you have to study a lot. So I paid 150 euros for this with the case, and this can unscrew the bell. You can unscrew the bell, so I should buy a specific case for French horn where you can unscrew the bell. This is, I don't even, the brand is so beaten up. Yeah, it works. Okay, the sound is what it is and the player is what it is, but if I play long enough in the morning, I'll let my lips rest, and in the afternoon I can get a decent sound on a bad instrument. Even the mouthpiece is kind of cheap. Arnold's and Sons 12. Got no idea about. I should play jazz music, so what kind of mouthpiece is better? Some people say, well, there's no specific mouthpiece. I have no idea. I put some coins here, Italian coins, when there were Italian coins here. I have no problem playing with the other hand. Some people complain, oh, you use the other hand. Well, not a big problem for me. When I got it, I didn't understand anything. I got it and what the hell is that? Because we tend to play. The first octave was problematic, were very, very difficult. But at the end of the day, helped me play this. So I have these two distant relatives. The bell is a little bit bigger, but I don't know, this is a specific horn that there's no brand. You can imagine how good it is. Nobody want to put a brand on it, put its name on it. Actually, somebody whose wife played the tuba got this in Austria, etc. She couldn't play it. I can imagine if you play the tuba and you play this. Okay, you can play everything if you practice. I can play the trombone, which has a very different mouthpiece. Other than the E flat, instruments like the bass trumpet and are tuned one octave lower than the trumpet. This is a different word. I can imagine. I think that French horn are very, and this is a single horn. I can imagine a double horn. It's hell. But I play like a trombone, so I it's, from one point of view, this is easier because partial I do flat, like the trumpet and the trombone. This is F. Okay. So I like listening to French horn jazz. I love it. Not me. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.